Next fight up, we got a lightweight match between Jamie Mullarkey taking on Fares Ziam. And man, I'll go back to you on this one. How do you feel about this one?
To be honest, this is the one that I haven't really looked into the mo. Oh, I appreciate that. Uh, yeah, this is one of the ones that I haven't really looked into the most because I'm not really high on malarkey. And if I'm not mistaken, malarkey is like a slang for like bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, I always just want to yell every single time, Mullarkey!
So we got Mullarkey. We know what he did in his last fight against Brad Riddell. That was phenomenal. That was an insane showcase of heart, determination, and resiliency. The guy would not go out against a massive, like a way better fighter in Brad Riddell. Shout out to anybody that got on Brad Riddell. I think it was like minus 150 in that fight, but he looked amazing in that fight. That was crazy. And then Fares Ziam, that guy, it's hard to tell what we're really getting with him. Like, he's a long, lanky striker. In the regional scene, we do see him go for the takedowns and try to take guys' backs. He has a couple rear naked choke victories on his record, but we didn't really get to see much from him in that Don Madge fight. That was just a clinch fest. I mean, these guys are just clinching each other. We knew that Don Madge wanted to get this fight to the ground and try to implement his brown belt in jiu-jitsu, I believe it is, but didn't really get to because there's just such a stalemate up against the cage. Ziam shows solid takedown defense just because of his height. I mean, when guys are trying to pick him up and slam him down, he's like a cat. He just gets on his legs right away. It's hard for me to really pick a side on this. I see a lot of people recently on Mullarkey, and we are seeing the line shift slowly towards Mullarkey's way. Ziam is 23 years old. The kid's still growing. He's 10-3. I do like Mullarkey here. I do feel like he'll be the stronger guy in the clinch, overall better fighter. And after that beating that he took from Brad Riddell, it's good that he took the amount of time off that he did it. We're approaching a year, I believe, since the last time he fought. So it's good that he's taken that amount of time off. But yeah, I do like Mullarkey here. I'm going to take him to win by decision. But again, this isn't one that I'm like too keen on. Maybe later in the week, I'll look into it a little bit more, but I got some other spots I'm really liking on this card.
Okay. All right. So on this one, this is actually my first play of the night, man. I jumped on Mullarkey early. I agree with everything that you said. I got minus 121 on him. Now it looks like I beat that line move. He's sitting around minus 140 at this point. So, I always try to educate my listeners just a little bit because some people are MMA fans. Not everybody's an MMA bettor. And a lot of MMA bettors, there's a lot people can learn from people that have been doing it for a while like us. And beating the line movement is half the battle. You know what I mean? If you're beating a line move, you've done your job. Now you just got to cross your fingers. The gods of MMA and variance are on your side, and it comes through for you. So I jumped on Jamie Mullarkey. I got minus 121. I feel good about that. He's got a nice long jab, heavy load kicks. I like that fadeaway counter left hook that he has. And he has really nice timing on his level changes. And I think that Fares, man, this guy, I don't feel like he fights the way he should for his body type. I know that sounds maybe a little bit odd, but he's got like a wrestling heavy approach. And he's not the wrestling tank type of fighter that can really use that. He struggles to get people to the mat sometimes. He struggles to hold people down. He's got those long limbs. As a tall, lanky guy, I can tell you, when you're doing jiu-jitsu, there's so much space. It's so difficult. People can get underhooks and get up from underneath you anytime they freaking want to because you've got those damn long arms. And I know both these guys have taken about a year off. This is going to be a battle of who made the most improvements in the last year, in my opinion. But from the last thing that I've seen from each of them, Jamie Mullarkey impressed me going 15 minutes with Brad Riddell, which is, I mean, even with a loss, that kind of performance, it just shows you that he's near that level. You know what I mean? He's headed the right direction, and that's going to do nothing but shine on his resume moving forward because Brad Riddell is crushing it right now in the UFC. And Fares got stuffed for a full 15 minutes by Don Madge, which, I mean, I don't want to say anything about Don Madge. He's a fine fighter, but not nearly the level in my opinion. And Fares had nothing for him in that fight. So I just think Jamie Mullarkey's the better fighter. I expect him to have improved. And if he can essentially use his wrestling in reverse here, I don't see any striking from Ziam that's going to cause him any problems on the feet. And I think Mullarkey's going to win a decision.
It doesn't seem like Ziam has much pop and power behind his punches either, so I think it's a little bit easier for Mullarkey. Like, if he was able to deal with Brad Riddell, not saying MMA math works or anything like that, but you take things from that fight and you're like, all right, Mullarkey should be able to handle this kid, get him down, and just implement his game. And I absolutely agree. He should be, Ziam should be fighting as like a distance Muay Thai striker, you know what I mean, with the body frame that he has, but we're not seeing it.
And the kid's Tony Ferguson tape, man.
Exactly. No, you're completely on the nose there.
All right. Well, I like that we at least agree on it. I pulled the trigger. We'll see what happens later on in the week for you.